Hey guys, welcome back to another Cultured Boys discussion. I'm Pepe and I'm joined by Nathan, and today we're chatting about games. Yay! We don't know what games we're going to chat about. We're just going to have a little catch up about games, what games we're playing, what we're looking forward to coming up, all that jazz. How you doing, Nathan?
I'm doing good, mate. I'm doing good. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. I'm going to start off on this subject quite quickly because obviously what's been going on at time of recording in America, the Switch 2 consoles went on pre-order this week because of all the tariff stuff, all the stuff that's gone over there. They delayed the pre-orders for the Switch 2. And I've just been seeing the fallout from all of that, like people trying to scramble to get these consoles. And in the UK, obviously, we got these a little bit earlier. I've managed to secure one from Amazon. It's like a couple days later for the arrival time. So like I ordered it. I don't know if you've seen how Amazon are doing the Switch 2 pre-orders.
I honestly have not seen anything because I am probably not getting one day one.
You're not getting one day one. Yeah, it's understandable. I think there's going to be a lot of people with that because it's a higher price point as well. It's quite spenny and like you have to justify it, and that's understandable. Yeah, but the way Amazon have been doing it basically is you have to request an approval thing. So you go on the Switch 2 thing, you say I want to request a pre-order, and they'll get back to you on whether you get it or not. Some people get it, some people don't. This is the day of the pre-orders anyway, and I just like went for it to see if I get it. I have a request or whatever. Then I went back the morning after I sent the request in, and it got approved. So I was like, sweet, go get myself a Switch 2.
Wow, so the universe is definitely gone. This guy here, biggest Nintendo fan ever. You get that man his Switch 2.
Yeah, that's one thing I think I was quite lucky with, because every time I've looked again for these pre-orders, I think like it's been sold out quite quickly. Like one of my mates managed to get one at Argos. It's all these random places now. People going to like EE or BT to try and get these consoles.
Yeah,
I think people going quite far.
The most despairing thing was I heard after the America pre-orders, the inevitable happened, and there's supposedly already people getting scalp version. Like, there's already people out there trying to scalp it, and I'm like, fuck's sake. Can we not? God fucking damn it. Like, God,
I feel like
sick of it.
I feel like like all these places try and do their best to be like, no, we're going to combat scalpers as much as possible, but it never works. Everyone always ends up with a surplus of these fucking things. And like I've seen what was like you said about the scalping thing. Like I've seen people uploading listings on eBay saying like you're only buying a picture of this console. So like there's a bunch of these Switch 2 listings. So it's either on eBay you're getting a scalped Switch 2, or you're getting a picture of a Switch 2. So I think like all those places are just like it's a weird thing,
bro,
with it. I don't like people are saying that they're uploading these Switch 2 pictures as a way of combating scalpers. I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah,
I don't think it works. I think if you have the mentality, I'm gonna do this, but realistically, you're still uploading a fake listing. I don't think that helps combat scalpers at all.
Not
I don't know how
really.
that helps. No,
I don't understand the logic for that, but look, I don't want to dwell on it too much because it's just irritating, and let's face it, by this point, unfortunately, it's a reality we're all too used to now because it's just a thing that happens. I wish it wasn't, but there we go.
It's just a thing. You just live with it at this point. But I got my Switch 2 pre-ordered. I'm gonna get Mario Kart. I got the Mario Kart bundle as well.
You ready for the highest prices we've ever paid for video games?
Yeah, it's not convenient. Let's be honest. There's certain things like the Donkey Kong game looks amazing as well. That looks so much fun. But because I've never actually played any Donkey Kong games before, apart from Donkey Konga, if you want to class
Same.
that. And realistically, not a Donkey Kong game at all. I think I might have played Donkey Kong 64 at Fredo Show Wilder, Sam Wilder's house.
That makes sense. That makes
And
sense.
I did like I did a multiplayer thing. I didn't really get what was going on. So even then, I was like, "What?"
Wow, so you've never even played like the OG like Donkey Kong Countries or like not even on like Game Boy or anything?
Nah, I think the closest I've come to is playing original Donkey Kong, the arcade Donkey Kong. That's the
Oh,
closest I've come
wow.
to play. Yeah, that is the closest I've ever come to playing a Donkey Kong, I think. Apart from Donkey Konga. And maybe I played as Donkey Kong in Smash once as well, so that's the thing.
Yeah, yeah,
I
oh
think
yeah, because that totally counts.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, yes, in the Final Smash and the Brawl and Wii U versions, he has the Donkey
My
Konga
guy
game as his Final Smash. So.
rocks up to freaking Donkey Kong convention like, I played Donkey Kong in Smash Bros.
Hey, it's something. It's something. Uh, no, I don't think there's any other Donkey Kong games I played. I'm trying to think.
Fair.
Nah. But yeah, I did. The game looks sick. It looks like
Yeah, it
so
looks
good, like
really
it's just
good.
like how it gameplay is fun. But because I've never played a Donkey Kong game before, and it's quite a high price point for a game, I can't afford it on day one. So it's gonna have to just be added to the list of
Oh,
games that I
the
will get
dreaded
eventually.
list.
The list of all these other things like
Everyone's
there's I don't know
dreaded
what's on there. Like,
list.
yeah, I was like, what? One day I'll get it. It's a Nintendo game as well, so I don't even know if like. I think the only way it will go down in price as well if Nintendo lower the price points of all their games, because realistically they don't
Yeah.
go on sale. Like the only time they go on sale is like what was it, like a year or two after,
Well,
and even then it's like
if a
about tenner off or
Nintendo
something.
first party game goes on sale, that's bad news because it means it probably tanked and is a trash game. Only the
Yeah, no, if
worst
it,
ones that fail are the
yeah,
ones that drop.
yeah, it's true. Yeah, it is true. Um, Like, I can only imagine they won't lower the price points of the games at all, I don't think. Like, they've set that price point, and you know what Nintendo like, they're stubborn as hell.
Yeah.
And Donkey Kong looks like a great game, so I don't think it will dip. It won't go on sale anytime soon either. I can't imagine it going on sale anytime soon. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get it at some point. Maybe I don't
I
know something will happen. But yeah,
though I'm not getting a Switch 2, I've been like learning more stuff that I guess I should have paid attention to the first time when the Nintendo Direct for the Switch 2 was on.
yeah,
But I've been hearing most third-party games might not actually even be physical. So like you'll buy the physical
yeah.
edition, right? But it's just the box and a code, and I'm like, well, I don't want the box.
No, it's like they're doing that game, the key card, isn't it? Yeah, they're doing
Yeah.
the key
But you
card
know what I mean?
thing.
I'm like, if I'm buying the
Yeah,
physical version of a thing, I want the
yeah,
whole thing. I don't just want a fucking box.
yeah. It's the most inconvenient thing as well. It's the most inconvenient thing because I think Nintendo are basically leaving it up to those third-party developers and how they want to do it. This is what I've heard about anyway. So the Cyberpunk developers, they've actually that game is actually a physical game.
Mm.
That's actually on the game, which is the most bizarre thing in my opinion because it's Cyberpunk. Surely, out of all the ones you would have thought would be a digital digital thing, you would have thought it would be that one.
Yeah,
Um,
I
but no,
suppose.
but like Street Fighter is a key card game. I think, like you said, was it Bravery Default is as well, which is surprised because it's only what is it like 10 gigs or something like that, even less than that. And it's like, wait, could you not afford the cart? Could you not?
My main thought on it is like, so the whole time the industry was trying to go like, no more physical media, right? Back on like the last generation, the Xbox One, PS4. Do you remember there
Oh
was like
yeah,
that
yeah,
big push, like digital only? And they all complained about it, and retailers complained about it because retailers were like, if you make digital games cheaper, we're not selling your physical
yeah.
copies. In this instance, I don't understand what the point is then, because
Yeah,
Nintendo aren't going to make the games cheaper on eShop. You know that for a fact, right? But if it's only a code, therefore basically digital, why the fuck would
yeah,
I buy it in the shop? And why the fuck won't it be
yeah.
cheaper on eShop?
Because the thing is as well with it is like, yeah, sure, you get it's the essence of, oh, you have the physical card, but
But
realistically,
you
you
don't.
still have to put in the card. Yeah, you still have the card, so you put the card in and it locks it to the card basically. So it means
That's
that like,
stupid.
ba- but basically at that point, I'm like, why wouldn't I just download the
Yeah,
digital
exactly,
one?
right?
So it saves me putting in the fucking card all the
Exactly.
time.
Like, I
Yeah,
just don't understand. If you're basically paying
yeah,
for a digital code, you are now
yeah,
just paying for a digital version with extra steps.
yeah. It depends on how retailers want to do it as well, I guess, right? Because if it's if you're paying more than say you're paying the exact same price day one for this physical copy as you would do a digital copy, right? Obviously, you go for the digital copy. However, I guess it gives the retailers the opportunity to lower the price if they want to. So it gives everyone the opportunity to do sale prices. However, I don't know how it's going to go, but that depends on how they want to do that moving forward. Regardless, though, you're still going to have that. Like you're still gonna have that issue of, oh, I have to put a game card in and stuff like that. And I think this is why Nintendo have launched this. You don't remember like that previous direct, the one they did in
Yeah,
March,
the one with the
the pre
digital
Switch 2
game
one,
card sharing.
the digital. It's obviously this is why they've introduced that, because obviously they're very much moving towards that digital thing. So they're like, hey, look, let's make it more appealing. Let's make it more appealing for everyone, so you can freaking share all these digital games. But yeah,
I
it's
I think this is
yeah.
where I'm starting to age out of the Nintendo whimsical fucking Nintendo way of doing
Mhm.
things.
Yeah, yeah.
It's irritating now. Like, oh, we do this thing because we did this other thing. Just do the thing. There's so much shit that they do that the older I'm getting, the more I'm just like, can we just cut out all the bollocks, all the middleman, all the fluff, and
Mhm.
just do the bloody thing? For fuck's
You
sake.
know, like the thing is with a lot of like game companies these days, like you look at Sony, you look at Microsoft, you're looking at Nintendo. Obviously, Microsoft are pretty much like hard selling, like they're selling on this Game Pass thing. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
That's the main reason you'd want to get it. Realistically, they're kind of. I can see like the next load of Xboxes like just kind of dying out at some
Well,
point.
I mean, they pretty much have the rumors is the next Xboxes are basically just a bunch of PC specs.
Yeah.
So the rumors are apparently the next Xboxes development kits aren't going out anymore in the traditional way.
Hmm.
They're just gonna tell developers like, here's the minimum specs, or here's what you got to shoot for. Go off and do that. Basically, Xboxes now, because they're going for a just play anywhere, everywhere kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're basically just like, yeah, here's a PC spec. They're basically just a PC.
Hmm.
Go off and fucking make
Yeah.
it for this PC. Done.
It's one of those things, like, obviously, they're moving a certain way in the way they're selling their consoles, like you said, which is basically not really a console at all, it's basically a PC.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a
And
PC
obviously, they're
box.
relying heavily on the Game Pass stuff, and obviously, they're relying on that fan base that have been with the Xbox 360 and Xbox One, Xbox Series X throughout that whole thing.
Mm.
The same way that, like, PlayStation owners, for example, like the PS4, the PS5, anyone that had a PS3, you kind of stick with it a lot of the time. I mean, we made us two personally, we made the jump over from. Well,
Yeah,
you got an have you got an Xbox One? Did you get an Xbox One? I can't
I had an
remember.
Xbox One. Yeah,
You
one
had
and
an
a One
Xbox
S.
One, yeah. Okay, yeah. So like, but like, it's one of those ones that obviously we got the. But you didn't have a PS3, did you?
Not until after PS4 had already been out.
Yeah. So you got one like later down the line.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've collected all the consoles, but yeah, it's more of a, I got it when it was dirt cheap. I don't even think I paid for it. I think a family member gave it to me. actually, to
Yeah,
be
it's
fair.
about at that point, if it's after the PS4, like who the hell is getting a
Yeah,
PS3, you know what I mean? It's like you'd find them like kind of cheap. They're probably going up in price again now. You know how retro games
yeah,
work. um but like that's one thing. So every company is moving in a certain direction. It's the same way that Sony have done this. Oh, it's a digi only console. If you want the fucking disc drive, you have to pay separate for it for this PS5 Pro. And it's like, great, it's not convenient for the consumer whatsoever.
no, especially because a disk drive is also like another like an extra $100 on top of a fucking like 400-500 pound machine.
The thing is, what we're seeing now with a lot of these game console manufacturers, all these people, they're moving towards a more selfish way of selling. And realistically, they're doing what's beneficial to them. However, they're selling it in a way that's beneficial to you. And you know it's not beneficial to you. You can use all these fancy tech specs as words all you want. It's not beneficial to the consumer at all. Consumer knows what they want. They want the physical media. And but they're like, no, no, we're going digital now because digital's the way forward. And it's like, for fuck's sake, okay, no, but you only doing that because so you can cut out the middleman in terms of printing copies and stuff. That's what it is. And it's the same way that like we knew Nintendo were moving towards this anyway. The way Pikmin and Metroid Prime were released digital first. It's like they were testing the waters with that shit, and 100% Nintendo are moving towards a digital only thing. They're just doing it bit by bit. Yeah, so sure your Mario Kart and your Donkey Kong are still gonna have their physical copies, but the fact they have this game key card thing is like, look, we're still having these physical copies, but it's not the same way that it would be. It's still a digital code locked to a game cart. So you're still like they're dabbling in it right now. They're dabbling in it, but moving forward, 100%, they're going towards that digital first. 100% they're moving towards that. Like digital first, digital only, they're moving towards that stuff. And it's the same. Like when you look at the market right now as well, like people saying the high street's dying. It is realistically, a lot of people are shopping on Amazon. Like high street shops are closing down a lot more. Like, I mean, look at Game, for example. Like when you walk into a game store, what do you see in there? You don't see games. You see fucking you're seeing plushies, you're seeing board games, you're seeing like all sorts.
Yeah,
And the actual games are in a corner somewhere. Game isn't selling games. That's why all the fucking shops are shutting down. So realistically, this is the way we're moving forward in the gaming like
yeah,
universe. It
but
is gonna be a
fucking
digital thing
it's
eventually.
even if we've been making this transition for over
Hmm.
a decade and a half, it do- it still boggles my mind and frustrates me. Nintendo are trying
Hmm.
to do Nintendo are trying to basically be like the Apple of games consoles, right? But they're late to everything. They're making the digital switch now or a digital push, and I'm like, the other two have been doing that since the last generation. But it doesn't matter who does what, right? The fact is, even if retail's dying and we have to go digital only, motherfuckers still
Hmm.
ain't. We are still not seeing the benefits
Yeah.
of it, right? Because now Nintendo's gone and pushed, and it's gonna all the games. It's set a precedent, right? For oh,
Hmm.
well, they're willing to buy Nintendo games at X amount
Hmm.
extra.
Yeah.
Now everyone's gonna do it. Digital storefronts were already expensive beforehand, right?
Hmm.
Even back when games were like 30-40 pounds, they still costed
Hmm.
an extra 10 quid on top because, oh, well, we, because of retailers and stuff. And I'm like, the whole point of digital only was that the savings from not printing a
Hmm.
disc or a physical
Hmm.
thing gets passed on to
Yeah.
us as consumers, yeah? No, no. Well, all we have to do is tell you you don't own the game, you license it from us. So whenever it disappears, it disappears. You don't get a say. But by the way, you still have to pay us full price because well, I don't
Mm.
know why.
Yeah. Just because they can at this point. Like it's not even like it's just beneficial to them. Like all of every freaking
Like
company is
I
doing it. And
I will never get over, and this will piss me off probably till I'm 6 foot under.
mhm.
But day one, Dynasty Warriors Origins, PC, Steam.
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck did I still have to pay £65 for a digital fucking game?
Ooh. Yeah, that is that is ridiculous. Like,
This
because,
is what I'm saying, right? And that's just
yeah,
an example.
yeah. I mean, you look on the PlayStation Store, and there's like every new game is at that price point, though, isn't it? Like that's like every game is like that.
I get it, right? Game production now is more expensive than it's ever been, and prices really should have been rising with the costs of development, blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
But you're just sending me. I don't even own these games anymore because it's just the license. Then why the
Yeah.
fuck did I just pay that much money for some ones and zeros that I don't fucking own? God damn it.
Yeah. It is infuriating. And my main problem with a lot of this digital only stuff is that to me it feels forced. None of it feels natural because look at the when you look at the TV like movie industry, for example, DVDs, stuff like that. Like
Mhm.
everything moved over to streaming in a quite a seamless way because like Netflix, for example, when that first started out, it didn't have a wide range of things, but like people eased into it a bit, right?
Well, I mean, Netflix also started off as a DVD rental
It
service.
did, didn't it? Exactly. And like we've gone from the point of no one really buys DVDs anymore because pretty much everything is available on streaming minus your niche like your more niche films basically. Um which you have to rent. So they're available on Amazon or whatever, but you have to rent them or you have to buy them from somewhere else. And it's like great. So I have to spend money to go see it, like to see my film. However, like that felt quite seamless. People are willing to go into those streaming services. People are willing to pay for those streaming services. There's a lot there. That's why I feel like the DVD, like the whole DVD printing thing, is kind of dying out a bit. That was a natural thing. However, when you look at gaming has always been you go into store, you buy this kind of thing. No, like clouds, cloud streaming of games. Everything about that is garbage. It doesn't work. Like they've tried it time and time again, and it is the worst thing. Cloud streaming of games is absolutely awful. And like we saw what was it? Remember PlayStation Now? Remember when that first came
Yeah.
around? Oh yeah, you pay you pay like a rental fee or whatever for like you can play what was it? You pay £5 and you get to play Uncharted for 2 hours and they take it away from you. It's like, what the fuck's the point of that? Like, they've never got it right. There's never been a point where like digital only or like streaming, anything like that, they've never got it right before. And it's always been inconvenient to the consumer. Whereas buying a physical game has always been a convenient thing, in my opinion. Like, so when it comes down to it, yes, obviously it's handy to have that game right there and then you can download it. But to me, like it just doesn't work. Like I don't feel good about owning a digital copy of a game. I want that thing on I want a physical copy. Like you said, maybe it's the old school way of thinking. Maybe like is like I don't know,
See,
another
the
generation's
only
feeling differently. But to me, yeah, I'm
I,
not a fan of any of it.
I think there's just a lot of problems in general though, because the whole even if you have a physical disc, they still treat it as no, because like it's still just the license. You still just license the game, even though you bought a physical disc. The data should be on the disc. There is still quite a few because everything's online in it. So it's like, oh well, when you play the game, even though it's there's no online thing, it still contacts a server and there's like verification. So if we ever turn off that server, well, your game is just gone. And like, I just feel like everything with modern gaming fucking just leads into another issue with the industry and everything going on. And I'm just like, bruh, I just remember when this was a hobby and I could just go
Yeah.
and escape into a world and play a thing and then just like come back to reality and be like, okay, now I gotta live my life again. Now I'm like, gaming is stressful now just because fucking business and life has fucked it all up. I'm priced out of
Mm.
my hobby and I don't know what's gonna happen now. Fucking everything and everyone is trying to nickel and dime you in the fucking thing. I was
Mm.
just
So
like,
true, yeah.
oh, is there anything to be excited about anymore in gaming? I don't
Yeah.
even know.
The the annoying thing about it as well is that, like, even like, there's a reason why they're keeping, like, the Switch 1 alive for so long. You know, like, when, they did that freaking what was it? The, Nintendo Direct in March. It was obvious to say, "Look, we're still keeping this thing alive." Like, there's Switch games going out well into 2026 at this point.
Mm.
Obviously, they're still supporting that, so, like,
Well, they could never get rid of
yeah,
Switch 1 support that early anyway, because
no, absolutely not, no.
again, thanks to COVID and stuff, like the user base, the install base for the Switch 1, if you killed that off as like day one of Switch 2, you basically have killed off most of your company, basically.
Yeah,
Like
it's
you basically dug your own grave. There's no way you could
yeah.
survive after that.
100 it'd be a silly move, in it. It's the same way that they kept the PS4 alive for, like, so long after, like, PS5 launch, because realistically, the PS5 had, like, shit all games.
Well, yeah, I mean that's why like
Yeah.
with every console release, they still
Mm.
support the previous
Yeah.
generation for a couple years or so. You know, probably I don't know. Some support the previous console for ages on end, but that's because there's like what was it? That's like PS2 was supported for a super long time, but that's because in Brazil, like PS2
Yeah.
was still like the dominant console.
Yeah. I mean, was it, people that were still supporting the Wii for so long, weren't they? With, like, was it there were Just Dance games coming out, like,
Oh my god,
Just Dance
yeah.
2019 was this, like, I think
But
that
see
has
that
a
that's
Wii
an
copy of
example. That's an
it.
example of like
Yeah.
an install base that large because it was like all the nursing homes and like just people in general that were like, oh, this console was very simple because you just wave a thing
Mm.
around and that's the
I mean,
games.
almost any any household had a Wii at some point. I feel like there was, like, at one point where,
Honestly,
like,
yeah,
you just had a Wii. Yeah,
a Wii was
yeah,
probably as ubiquitous as having a PS2. Fucking almost
yeah.
everyone had a
Oh, absolutely,
PS2.
100%. Yeah. Oh god, yeah. Like those consoles did so well, and I think, like, at this point, like, I mean, a lot of people have Switches as well. This is one thing. Obviously, I wouldn't say it's the same scale as a PS2 or a Wii.
No, but I think it's pretty close though.
It's not too far off, in it. Like, more, I'd say more so. Like, that's the
It's
thing that
probably the
Nintendo has
closest
in its
that any
corner.
console has
Yeah,
gotten in quite a long time, I'd say.
yeah, because, like, like, the thing is, with, like, a PlayStation or Xbox, like, realistically, gamers on those consoles were either one or the other.
Mm.
And then, like, so, like, we don't have that kind of level as we did back then, but Nintendo, obviously, like you said, lockdown happened. So many people bought Switches because it was just a convenient thing, whether it was a Switch Lite as well for, like, a kid's birthday, or whether it was, like, the Switch OLED, normal Switch, and now there's a Switch 2 in the mix. Like, there's like a lot of support for that console in general. It'd be silly to just stop the production of older games in that. I mean, there's still, like, big games. Like, I mean, say what you will about Tomodachi Life, right? But like, it's one of those ones where, like, it still gets memed on quite a bit to this day. Like, you see, like, a lot of things, like, people still play it and just, like, just to set up ridiculous scenarios, just use the music editor and stuff like that. So
Fair.
it's yeah, it's there's gonna be a lot of things for it, and obviously you can see that, like, with Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon ZA, it's like they're getting obviously re-released on the Switch, normal Switch, as well as getting Switch 2 ports as well.
Yeah.
At this point, I feel like I have to get the Switch 2 upgrade with it as well, because
Well, I
like,
mean,
when that comes out later in the
will you
year, like,
have
I think I'm
to?
gonna have to.
Because by the time the Switch 2 comes out, and let's
Mhm.
say Pokemon ZA, for example,
Mhm.
the Switch 2 will probably be out before that game, no?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to
So,
get the Switch 2. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get
so
the Switch 2
why?
version of it though, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, why would you buy the upgrade? You just buy the Switch 2 version, surely.
Well, the upgrade comes with it though, innit? That's one thing. So basically what you end up getting is, like, there'll be a Switch 2 game case for it most likely, but that will have the upgrade built into it, whether it's an upgrade that, like, is prepaid for or whatever it is.
No.
Like, they haven't actually specifically said it. This is the one thing. So, like, there is a case there that I think there will be an actual physical copy of Pokemon ZA Switch 2, which will have the upgrade built into it, or not built into it, but like an additional code for it. Basically, that's what I'm seeing it as anyway. They haven't actually specifically said, I don't think, but yeah,
Fucking
it's
just
confusing.
listening.
That's the problem.
Just listening to
Yeah,
that is again what I'm saying before is just do the fucking thing. Why have you got to fucking complicate shit and do this Nintendo fucking stupid shit? Just fucking do the thing.
yeah.
If it's a Switch 2
This is the one.
and the
Yeah,
Switch 2
yeah.
version, plug it in, it's a thing. Install the fucking game, play. There it is, Switch 2 enhanced version. Like why do people need to sit and think, do I buy the thing and plug it in, then have to buy or download an extra thing? Or is it pre-installed? Like, just do the fucking thing, man. Just do it. Why does it always have to be a fucking song and dance?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the because it's the Metroid Prime 4 thing, which is that's what people look at the Switch 2 case for that. And on that one, includes the Nintendo Switch game and the Nintendo Switch 2 edition upgrade pack. So it comes with upgrade pack also available separately for details. Yeah, it's just give it basically. I don't know if you've ever seen the Metroid Prime 4 box art at all. The Switch 2
No,
box art
but
thing.
I'm also
It
not
comes
really a
with this.
Metroid
It
fan, so I would never have
comes.
looked.
I only say it because it comes with this little thing at the bottom, right? It's like a random little disclaimer thing. So that's the box art there. But then you have that thing at the bottom, which basically details what it is. So it's basically an upgrade pack that comes with it. So this is what I'm talking about. Is it going to work out cheaper to buy that Switch 2 case, like the physical copy of it, or is it going to be working out cheaper if I just buy a Switch 1 game and buy an upgrade pack separately? You know what I
Well, it
mean?
depends
What
because
is
I've
yeah,
heard rumors that like the upgrades are gonna cost around £10.
yeah.
So I don't know if they are selling games at 80 quid, I guess. If they're selling Switch 1 games at 50 quid and then you've only bought it all
Yeah.
for £60 and you save yourself 20 quid, but at the same time, are they going to still sell?
This is the thing, right? So like cuz basically it's an upgraded Switch 1 game. And obviously the upgrades are there. That you can see like obviously the frame rate and stuff looks a lot better in the newer
Well, it
version.
better.
But like and it looks nicer, but like this is the one
With
thing
all
that
this new
yeah,
hardware, if it's still got frame rate issues, then Nintendo are
yeah,
absolutely fucked.
yeah. It looks better. It's just one of those ones where it's like what I now have to strategize how I'm paying for this game is what I'm trying to work out.
It's
Is
ridiculous.
and obviously they haven't released a price point for that yet either, so who knows what it's gonna be. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff which people are understandably unhappy about. What are you playing at the moment, Nathan? What are you playing at the moment?
Okay, I'm just catching up on my backlog. I've been playing a lot of Digimon Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory. I've just been like running through that. I prefer those ones because it Digimon's confusing because you have
I've never really played.
essentially you have two different style of games. So
Mhm.
if it's like says like story or something, then those are like your more Pokemon esque, like you run around, there's a story, and then it's turn based combat. Whereas if it says world, that's like the more traditional Digimon style games where you
Okay.
still run around, but your Digimon go through a life cycle constantly.
Mhm.
So it's more of a management game that gets very tedious and stressful because like obviously the further you go, the stronger you need your Digimon. So you need them to be higher levels and you want them to digivolve, but
Mhm.
they're on a life cycle. So if you are really unfortunate, then you'll get to your next section and it'll be like, oh, your Digimon's got like one in-game day before it dies and resets as an egg.
Right, okay, yeah.
And then you have to begin the training all over again. and Digimon digivolve into a specific. It's basically you're playing like the actual like Digimon like Tamagotchi thing, but in a video
Mhm.
game, right? So like they'll
Right.
digivolve based on specific stats and the way you raise them, and
Mhm.
so then you have to spend all your time doing training so that they get the stats, so that they can follow that Digivolution
Mhm.
road or whatever that you choose. But in my experience, it takes so fucking
Mhm.
long that by the time
Yeah.
you get there, the life cycle starts again, and you fucked.
It
I'm not
sounds
a
really stressful. None of that
Yeah.
sounds enjoyable.
I'm not I'm not a big fan of the Digimon World games because it
Mhm.
is
Yeah.
yeah, it's just stressful. It's like time management, resource management. I'm like, games are supposed to be fun. This is not fun."
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
It's
yeah.
yeah. That sounds incredibly inconvenient. So, like, you said, like, was the Digimon story ones are the kind of like more your Pokemon kind of ones. You've been
Yeah.
enjoying that one more,
That
you say, yeah.
one's
That and Cyber Sleuth is that
yeah. Yeah,
basically.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Cyber
Yeah,
Sleuth
yeah.
is like the first one that came out in that, and you play as a
Yeah.
character who ends up getting sort of like stuck as a digital, half digital person existence. So then
Mhm.
you're working with a detective or a cyber sleuth to solve this mystery of why you're like this and then fix it all up. Hacker's Memory is like the same game but from somebody else's perspective. So in this
Mhm.
like basically in this world of the games, there's this big old. It's almost like Second Life. You remember that like game where you can make like a digital avatar and like it's like
Yeah.
it's kind of like that, but like it's also like a VR kind of thing. Like it basically Sword Art, but not.
Okay.
But
I
yeah,
think I did have Cyber Sleuth at one point.
yeah, I think it was free
I
on
remember
PlayStation Plus a long
I
time
think I
ago.
got yeah, I played it for a little bit, and I think I didn't get into it as much. Maybe I was like, but I it was probably like I was playing something else at some point, and then it was like, oh okay, I'll see what this Digimon game's like. And I think it's when I actually first, is in the first year that I had my PS4, I think, because
Yeah,
yeah,
I
it would
mean,
have been.
like Cyber Sleuth was pretty early on.
Yeah, yeah. Like I got my PS4 a little bit later than most people. So, yeah, it's probably one I have played but didn't get into. But I kind of remember the little bits because you still walk around in the overworld as well, don't you?
Yeah, basically Japan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Japan,
I
and
remember
then,
walking.
like, you walk around Tokyo or select parts of Tokyo,
Yeah,
and then it's also, like,
yeah,
the online world, but Tokyo's fun, especially when you've explored a fair amount of the locations like we have, like,
yeah,
in Hacker's Memory, you start off in Ikebukuro, and then you go to, like, Nakano Broadway, and I'm like, "Oh, man." But, like, in
yeah,
Cyber Sleuth, you start off in Nakano Broadway, but when I was playing Cyber Sleuth, I hadn't gone to Nakano before, but now I'm like,
yeah,
"Oh, these are all the places that, like, I would go to anyway, because it's like, Shinjuku,
hmm,
Akihabara, Shibuya, like, it's all the classic Tokyo
yeah. I
places."
think that's the kind of thing I kind of remember because I remember going into like a what was like a shopping district, and I think it probably was Nakano to be
Yeah.
honest. And at the time, I just didn't know because I hadn't been Nakano yet, or I didn't have any reference to it. So I do remember like the few hours that I played of it. I do kind of remember that a little bit. And
Yeah.
then you have like a digital agency thing that you have
Yep.
to go to.
Yep,
Or so,
yep.
yeah, and there's like a little yeah. I remember this now. Yeah, okay, cool. Again, didn't get too far in it. I don't even remember what the game like the combat's like in it. You said it's like a Pokemon kind of thing,
Yeah, it's
but
more Pokemon. It's
I
literally
can't
like
I can barely
3v.
remember it.
It's except the difference is obviously Pokemon is like 1v1. Like one Pokemon to one
Mhm.
Pokemon unless you're doing double battles.
Yeah.
But in Digimon it's always like 3v3. So you have your three and their
Mhm.
three. Obviously at the start of the game you've only got one, so you have to build up your team.
Yeah.
But like yeah, eventually it becomes 3v3 and
An enjoyable game though,
Yeah.
nonetheless, right? You must be enjoying it. I mean, if you played this much of it, you've got hacker's memory as well.
Well, I mean, I was always going to buy Hacker's Memory, but then we got free on PlayStation Plus like a month ago, so
Yeah.
I was like,
Okay,
cool, I
yeah.
don't have to actually buy it. So I was like, oh, okay, I always wanted to see what the difference was.
Wasn't like there one that came out like a couple years ago, like was it Digimon Survive or whatever it was?
Yeah, that one was like a
In a
strategy
visual
game.
novel kind of thing. Oh, was it a strategy one? Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
because it was that one was more like Fire Emblem.
That sounds better. Why
I
have I not been on that one?
don't know. I don't know why you didn't play that one, but yeah,
I
that
don't
one played more like a
know.
Fire Emblem. There was like a grid, and you
That
move the
sounds
Digimon
fun.
around, positioning and everything was like, yeah, that one was more of a strategy game and a
Did you
visual
ever play
novel.
that one?
I didn't actually. That was on my list, but then that was one where I was like, okay, that was pretty much digital only for us in the UK.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you know you you make the choices, and then it was like, I was gonna get it on my Switch, but then it's Nintendo, so then
Yeah.
eShop, and then expensive, so I didn't never bought it.
I mean, I'm looking now, and like it's £10 on game collection. And I'm like, do I want to like spend £10 on this game that
Nah, save
like
your
like
money because you're gonna need it when the Switch 2 hits.
I will need it to switch to it. So yeah, this one thing I'm trying to like save is because obviously when it comes out as well, I'm gonna be freaking like I'm a broke boy. It's like it comes
Yeah,
out
because
like
everything's so fucking
it
expensive.
comes
Like
out like I
it's
think like 10 days after payday as well, which is gonna be so much ag. Like so and I've got a holiday like the week after that, like or 2 weeks. So it's gonna be like I've got to
rip,
put money in this holiday. Yeah,
rip.
so I'm like I'm trying to hold back as much money as possible. Saying that though, I did also buy Forza yesterday, Forza 5.
That's a fun one.
It's been a while since I've played a Forza game in general because I think it was literally more than 10 years ago when I got it because I think I had for the first Forza Horizon game because me and you played it
Yeah,
at
I was
some
gonna
point,
say
didn't we?
Forza
Yeah,
Horizon probably the first one was probably the last one you played
yeah, yeah. So
because that was like,
skipped the next three entries of it and then went straight to the
well, yeah, because it's
straight
like,
to the fifth
yeah,
one.
it would
Yeah,
have been, wouldn't it? Because that was towards the end of
Xbox
the
360.
360's life cycle,
Yeah,
and then yeah,
yeah.
and then
Mid
you'll jump.
2013 is when I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, wow, wow.
Yeah, so it's been a while, and I was thinking yesterday because I had a coworker tell me about Exposition 33, which is like it's an RPG JRPG
Yeah,
basically, and it looks unreal. Like gameplay looks sick, but it's also like obviously brand new. I think it's like I was debating whether to get Forza or that game because that game was £25 on CD keys. And I was like, that's not a bad
that's
price
not.
for a
Yeah,
game
that's
that
not
everyone's
bad.
going
Yeah,
crazy over. That's just released like a week ago or whatever, and everyone's going crazy over it. So I was like, that seems like a good price. But again, JRPG, you know what I'm like with freaking RPGs, I
yeah.
probably won't complete it. Um, and I've been in the mood for a racing game for a while now. Like, but so like Forza Horizon just felt like the right time. If I haven't played one in a while, I knew that like I loved the Forza games. I only had Forza 3. I don't think I got any of the newer ones after the.
Horizon has been a solid choice. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, 4 and 5 were all right. It just, I don't know. With 4 and 5, they tried some new stuff that was interesting, I
which bit are you
suppose.
not keen on with him? What weren't you so keen on with?
So, like, you know how like Horizon is always, or like Forza's always really just been like, do the race, do the series of races, go to the next
Mhm.
ones.
Yeah,
From 4, it was kind of like, hey, why don't you start making races? And that's sort of like
right.
was a bigger push. Like you still had your series, like your pre-made series from the developers, but it was like
Hmm.
they started being kind of like, why don't you make some challenges, and then
Oh,
that's
okay.
so you can play your challenges or you can play like other people's challenges, and that's how you started making bits of progression here and there. And when you're kind of like,
Oh,
yeah, that's great if it was an option, but it's not an option, so I kind of don't
oh.
care. Some like it's not always there, but sometimes it's like, oh, okay, here's.
They're really pushing it though, yeah.
I found in 4 it was more of an issue than it is in 5. I think 5 they walked it back a little
Okay.
bit. It wasn't
Okay,
as
yeah.
heavily, but with 5, what I found is that with 4 and 5 also is like because obviously like 4s are racing games, so
Mhm.
like the appeal is to just drive around, obviously, but like
Mhm.
after a while you're kind of like the open worlds were in a racing game. That's just
Mhm.
it's fun for a while, where you're like it's just big open space. It's kind of like
Yeah.
nothing, and we're like the locales are nice to look at because 4 was set in like Scotland. So you're like, oh, it
Mhm.
looks nice, but countryside looks the same.
Mhm.
And then you go to
Yeah.
Mexico in 5, and you're like, Mexico looks lovely. The deserts look the same.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's I think that's the one thing with it. It's like I the thing I'm really early hours into the game though. So
Mm,
I've only like I was downloading it last night. It took ages to download, so I left it overnight and started playing it this morning.
mm.
So right now I'm just going around and just finding whatever. I just click the closest thing, closest challenge that's near me, and I just do that.
That's I mean,
So
that's the way to do it. But honestly, like, despite all of that, I still have fun playing the Horizon games. I still think my favorite one is 3 though, because like I don't know, Australia just felt cool, and there was a lot of like changing scenery. Like you'd go from the city to all of a sudden there's some outback, and then all of a sudden you're in like forest,
mhm.
and like you still
Okay,
get
yeah,
that when you're driving around in Mexico, but like in 5 you'll be in a town, but then the
yeah.
town's not super big, and then you're in desert. And then there'll be, like, some forest, but, like, I just find the scenery doesn't change as much, so it doesn't hold my
You can
attention as
tell they're
much.
really trying to push that, especially in the first few like the first few minutes of the game, they're like, "Hey, look, you drive around this desert road. Oh, now you're in the jungle. Oh, now you have to
Yeah.
drive through the city." It's like they're really trying to push those
Horizon
different
is
location
always
things.
been
Yeah,
like that, though, like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
literally the first thing you always do is you're like, "Okay, drive to the festival," and it's like, "Oh, look at this crazy thing, and there's stunts, and there's
Yeah.
this, and there's that," and they're like, "Cool, this is what you can expect," and it's like, it's true, it's fun. It is hilarious, but yeah, I find sometimes as the locales and the maps get a bit bigger, you
Mhm.
do start to realize
Yeah.
it's like, wow, there is a
It's a
lot
lot of
of like
empty space.
empty, like
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Like, I mean, realistically, I'm gonna be just driving around for the idea of this driving. I think
Mm,
is the thing that I'm just looking forward to. Like, I do really enjoy the races as well, and it is also weird because on the Steam Deck, obviously they make you sign in to your Xbox account as well. So again, I haven't used that thing in like since the Xbox 360 days, and maybe like, oh no, I must have used it for Minecraft as well. Um, but it's also like all my old friends that I had on that
yeah,
account. So, example, you're there, like
yeah.
your name pops up on the Ghost Data thing, which is quite funny. And but there's also people that I obviously went to secondary school with and like
Oh
went to
mate.
uni with, who I haven't spoken to in decades at this point. And I'm like, "Oh shit, there's this person in this race. That's funny." Like, obviously, like I think it's only a handful of people that actually just decided to play this
Mm.
game and stuff. But yeah, but your name pops up quite a bit in that one, which is quite funny to see.
Well, I mean, it should do because like I think it tries to take your friends that definitely have played it as well, and they have like
Yeah,
data for they how they drive, which now I'm concerned about because I'm like, when I play racing games like Forza, because
yeah,
I know it's digital, I have no mechanical sympathy. So
yeah.
I
Oh,
become
yeah.
quite an aggressive, like I will just smash you off the road because it's a video
Yeah.
game. I don't know. I don't need to
Well,
care
I think
about the
it's.
car.
I think it must be a combination of two. But this is the one thing with it
Yeah,
though,
I mean, I
because
think
in
it's
the
like
early days of the game,
difficult.
it's
Yeah,
easy as well. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's.
I think they take into account your difficulty and stuff, but I think
Yeah.
I think sometimes though, because when I was playing,
Mhm.
I had a friend's like Ghost Data or like Drivatar as they call it, and like I must have bumped up the difficulty or something because I was like, he's being a real dick right now. And then I
Oh,
spoke to him
yeah.
about it, and I was like, bro, I was doing this race the other day. What the fuck? And he was like, oh yeah, I just like bump into people because like
Yeah.
it's a game.
To be honest, I use a lot of other drivers as buffers. So, like,
Yeah.
if I know I've taken a corner badly, I'm like, well, I can rely on this car that's next to me to ram into the thing, and then I can come off that a lot
Do
easier.
you also do that thing where like you're in first and because it's a video game and you're just playing against PCs and you see the second
Mhm.
place come up close and then you just sort of like you just start like skirting like yeah don't stay the fuck away from me.
I've never done that bit. No, I'm like I'm so I'm just trying to like just do what I can with it at this point. I'm still again still early days in it right
I
now.
literally
Um,
if
yeah.
I'm like it's close to the end and let's say it's a sprint race so there's no lap or we're on the last lap. If second place comes near me, I will pit them. I will pit maneuver that motherfucker. I will fuck them up because I'm like, don't even think about it.
I'm finding that in my early days of playthrough right now, I'm so used to cutting corners in other racing games, right?
Yeah, this is
That
not
I
one.
forget this. You can't do that because there's checkpoints in it, and I'm having to use I'm usually very much against the rewind button. It's not
The
something I
rewind
use,
button is your best
but
friend.
it is 100% my best friend because I miss so many checkpoints because I'm like, look, they're going around this way. I'm just going to cut across. I'm like, wait, no. Multiple times I've been like, yeah, okay, rewind because I've just completely missed this checkpoint. I need to do yeah. Yeah, getting used to that. But no, I'm enjoying going back to it right now. There's obviously so much in that game as well, so
Yeah,
I'm still
it's a very big
finding
game.
what I need to do. Yeah, and it's like for £20. I don't know when it came out, Forza 5,
I don't
but
remember. It's been a few years though.
it's been a few years. Yeah, like for £20 on Steam, I was like, yeah, go on. I don't mind paying that much. It's like I'll see
Yeah,
how
it's
that
not bad.
is.
Not a bad price for
Um,
it.
yeah, because like on PlayStation, it's full price, and I was like, I don't want to pay full price for
Yeah,
that.
well,
Yeah.
it's great timing, isn't it? Because like, there's a
Hmm.
at time of recording, there's a Microsoft publisher developer sale on Steam.
Mm.
So,
It is, yeah. I think that's why I went for it. I think that's. I was basically trying to look like I do fancy playing something different. But I don't want to be spending like full price for a game
yeah,
right now. What could I
no, that
just like,
makes
get
sense.
on like what can I get for cheap? And like that like £20 for Forza feels reasonable to me. I think
That's not a bad
that's
price.
fine.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And if I'm actually feeling like again, the only racing games I really have that I play are either Outrun like from
yep,
the from the PS2 on the Steam Deck, or I'm playing Mario Kart. And obviously
yep.
new Mario Kart's coming out soon, so I don't need to freaking revisit that anytime soon. And I was like, you know what? Like Forza was so good. I really enjoyed it. That's why I was kind of like, you know what? I want to kind of go back to that. And I think we've talked about Forza a few times as well.
Mm.
So yeah, worthwhile purchase, I'd say. I'll see how I get on in the next few weeks. I think I'm going to be relying on that. Like, I don't want to buy any more games in May. That's for sure. Or if it is, I'm going to buy games at like £2 or something like that.
Yeah,
That cheap stuff if it is. But no, yeah, I'm enjoying this. It's good. I'll if you're available, we should play at some point.
but I was just thinking that I've been trying to figure out like how can I do that? I'll have to
Because
look into it.
if you're using your Microsoft account, surely it should be like Minecraft, right? Cross-platform stuff.
Oh, I'm not about cross-platform. I meant because I'm pretty sure I played it off of an actual Xbox, which meant I had Xbox Live at the time,
Right.
but I
Okay.
have
Yeah.
Games Pass, but I don't know if it's on Games Pass. Because if it is, then that's fine. I can just install it and then we could play. But if it isn't, then
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, ugh, I don't know how I'm supposed to do that because I think I still have the disc, but then I have to get Xbox Live and plug in my Xbox. I don't really
Oh,
want to
mate,
have
no,
to
don't
do
get
that.
Xbox. No, don't do that. No, no.
Yeah,
We'll work out. We'll work out.
yeah, we'll have to figure out. I do want to get your thoughts real quick on the rumors of a Persona 4 remake?
Um, ooh, I reckon it could like, honestly, it sounds viable. I don't know how well Persona 3 remake went down. I assume it went down quite
I
well,
think it
right?
did pretty well, and the rumors are that a P4 remake could be around the corner because like lots of people have been noticing like
Mhm.
official websites and stuff, and it's been getting updated and things.
Okay, yeah.
So we'll see. I hope they don't do what they did with P3 Reload though,
Right.
because
Yeah.
that was just base P3. It wasn't Fez
It
or
Mhm.
portable, like so it wasn't like the most definitive version.
Yeah.
So I
I feel
hope
like
they don't do
it
that.
makes sense to do gold. It makes sense to do golden, you know what I mean?
Well, like my only thing,
Or incorporate some other new thing. I don't know, yeah.
my
Like
only problem is that I'm like, please, for the love of God, don't tell me you've done what you're doing is what you did back then, and it's like, oh, so here's the
mhm.
remakes of the base games. They did really, really well. So here's
Mhm.
the DLC or a fucking whole new game you can buy. That's
Yeah.
the best version of it. So now you've got Persona 3 Fez remake and
Yeah.
Persona 4 Golden remake. You know what I mean? Like, I please, just I want a, I would love a Persona 4 remake, but do I want to play base Persona 4? Not really. I'd much prefer you just
Yeah.
give me a Golden remake.
Mhm. I agree. Like, I think it's one of those ones where like Persona 4 was my first Persona game,
Same.
right? So, I would love like I'll have to look at it if when it does. I feel like it would come out. I have no doubt in my mind that it's going to come out at some
Honestly,
point.
after P3 Reload, I it's inevitable, I feel like.
It makes it like the fact that they've like the Atlas been pushing like 4, 5, and 3
Yeah.
like so much. Like it's like it's very much like those if you look at the Persona series, there's like representation like quite obviously maybe 5 a bit more because obviously everyone went crazy over
Yeah.
5. But like 3 and 4, they're like also represented really well.
Mm.
It's not like they've like died out or anything. So like it wouldn't be surprising at all if one came out. Um it depends for me if I'd get a day one or not because I mean, I've actually got P3 Reloaded. I just haven't installed it yet
Mm.
because I just don't have any space on my PlayStation, and I've got like I'm still making my way through Final Fantasy 7 as well. So
And
for
every
me,
other
it's like
RPG.
yeah, like right now, if I'm gonna do another RPG thing, that's why I held off on Expedition 33 because
Yeah.
I was just like, I need to realistically finish 7 before I do any more of this. And 7 is really good. Like the whole like it's so good. I just need to get through it. I will do eventually. I will do. But yeah, so whether P4 is a day one buy for me or not, I'll have to see. Especially what my finances are like as well, depending on what console it launches on as well. Like if they end up doing a Switch 2 version, I could see that being a thing.
I don't see
Um
why they wouldn't. It'd be a bit dumb if they didn't, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's I just if I'm going back to Inabar, I want Marie to be there because every time I've played, Marie was there, but she's only in Golden. So if it's base P4, then I'm gonna be like, bro, there's a whole thing that's missing. There's a whole person not
yeah.
here. Like P3 Reload is beautiful. So I'm like, why was it not Fez? Like, or
Yeah.
I could understand uh, but them not doing the portable thing, because and
Yeah.
having like the male and female character, fine, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But like, it's just the fact that there's more content out there, or there was a more definitive version of the game, and they didn't
Mhm.
remake that one.
Yeah.
It just brings up questions. That's all it is. It's like I would hope they're not trying to be like, oh, okay, cool. So we tested the waters, and the remake did gangbusters. So now we'll
Mm.
do a remake of Fez, and then they'll go even more nuts, right? Because that's
That'd be a ridiculous thing. Like, it wouldn't work out at all. People would be like, "Why the fuck?" Or like an extended cut or something like that. It'd be like
well,
maybe a
that's what I'm
DLC or
saying.
something like that.
Like,
You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
I hope they learn from it, right? And P4 is like, even if you call it something else and it's just Persona 4 remake, but it's golden, fine by me. Fine by me. I still got golden on PS Vita. I've got it on Switch. Not Switch. I got it on Steam. I could still go and
yeah,
play. Like, if I felt that strongly about it, and I'm like, all right, they didn't call it golden something, blah 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 blah, whatever. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, I could still play the original version. However, but like, please, man, please, Atlas,
Mm.
please, I beg.
That reminds me, I need to finish P5 Royal as well. I got that playthrough as well.
Bruh, bruh.
The thing is, as well, like I've got like because I had P5 on PlayStation. I got quite far in that. I picked up and put it down a few times.
Didn't you stop at like
But then
exactly the same place?
no, so slightly before. So the thing is, right, how it worked out, right, is that I played P5, got to the bank, or like just as the
Wow.
bank started, and then stopped, and then started again, finished the bank, and then got halfway through Futaba's pyramid stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and just stopped. Um And then I feel like I want to play Persona 5 Royal now after this just record. But on P5 Royal,
Mm-hmm.
there's a whole lot of extra stuff as well in there. So like was doing all
Yeah.
the extra stuff. And then I got to the bank again, but instead of stopping before I started the bank dungeon, I stopped. Literally, I just need to do the boss fight and then I finish the bank. So, because the thing is with the dungeon stuff as well is that like in P5 Royal, you need to find all these skull things, don't you?
Yeah.
As well, in each one. And it got to the point I found them quite easily in the first two dungeons. I don't know why I struggled so much in the bank one. I struggled a lot more in that one. So I think that kind of exhausted me on it a little bit. Also, it was a week before Pokemon Violet came out. So that was also a stopping point for me then. So um I might have just part of me was, I'm burnt out, but part of me was also like, "Pokemon." So
Man, I can't believe in all this time, I think I've finished P5 and Royal at least twice for both, and
Yeah.
you've not even finished it once.
I the thing is, right, I'll be an advocate for the well, this is also the same thing as well. With
Uh,
P4, I got, a reasonable amount in it, like a few dungeons in, and then stopped, and then picked it up and finished it, and I absolutely loved it. I got obsessed with it. Um So like with a lot of these JRPGs, I'm one of those people that puts it down for a bit and then starts up again. I'm like, oh my, and then it gets really engrossed with it. Like, mate, it took me like 2-3 years to do Final Fantasy VII, and it took me at least a
you
year
you could
or
not
so
have picked a
back and forth for
worse
P4.
genre
Yeah,
to be like that with, though. These kind of games, like, depends on where you drop it. You're like, oh fuck, what happened?
I
What am I
tell you what I
doing?
really struggled. I tell you what I really struggled with trying to pick up again was triangle strategy. One, because uh I do not the thing is it's a really good game. I ended up struggling on it because I can't remember the mechanics. Usually with P4 or Final Fantasy or like any Persona game, bear in mind. It's easy to pick up. It's muscle memory for those kind of things. Because triangle strategy is such a unique play style, and there's certain things you have to factor in. It's not like Fire Emblem, for example. Fire Emblem is like, oh, you go freaking attack this thing, easy. Like, there's so many different mechanical things in triangle strategy which you have to remember, and obviously fucking forgot them all. And I don't want to go into the next chapter of the story and like kind of not remember what happened in the story last time as well, which is pretty bad. But also not remember all the mechanics either. It's not an exciting thing to do.
See, that's what I'm
So
saying. You could not have picked a worse genre to be like, I'm just gonna drop this thing
yeah,
for extended periods of time and then come back.
I'm bad with that. Yeah,
Like
I'm really bad with that.
JRPGs in general, let alone okay, yeah, mechanically a lot of them play the same, but like normally they're
Yeah.
like heavily story based. And then you like depending on where you drop it, it's just like, oh
hmm
fuck. I'm buggered.
Luckily, like I remember a lot of the P5 story. This is the one thing with it. I remember a lot of it, obviously, because I played through arguably the first three dungeons two times. Still two times. I played through those twice. So I actually met, and also the story's really engaging in those games as well.
Mm,
That's the one thing with it. Like, so I remember exactly what's going down. I know up to that point. I do know exactly what goes on in the story of P5. Fire Emblem games are a little bit different. Like I
man.
think that's a date thing. Final
My
Fantasy again. I remember most of
the
what happens
funniest
there.
thought is that like it might take Persona 6 coming out for you to finish 5.
Mate, then I got 3. I can't get Persona 6, bro. I can't get P4
Well,
remake.
okay.
I gotta play all the
You
other bloody ones.
you are in luck because we still have no news on a 6.
Well, that's great, but then there's
And
rumors of 4
yeah, but
remakes. So
it's only
I finished
rumors
4
at the
to be fair.
moment.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah,
you're good. And like you said,
yeah,
P4 is one you actually finished. So
yeah. So
you
I
know.
I need to prioritize. I'm gonna prioritize P5 Royal.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna go back to the PlayStation one.
I
Why the
would
fuck am I
say
going back to the PlayStation?
finish
Yeah,
P5 Royal before you
yeah.
start P3 Reload.
Good thing with P5 Royal as well is that I have this. I played it on Switch, and again, my one thing
Ah.
that why I stopped P5 was because grinding. Basically, that was the one thing. Now I can watch things in the background while doing this. So arguably, I have no excuse. He says that freaking in
No, I was gonna
the
say
3
he says
years
that he still
after.
hasn't finished it.
Yeah, I'll get round to it. I'll get round to it. Bloody hell. But
He's
going
fine.
back, I would be very hyped for a P4 remake. If it depending on how it looks as well, that would be gorgeous.
Well, I mean, it has to look at least close to Persona 3 Reload and Persona
I mean,
5.
arguably, I think you'd hope it even looks somewhat better than P3 Reload if they've like. How long has that game been out now? P3 Reload, like at
Like a
least a
year.
year and a half, at least.
Yeah, I mean,
A year.
I think a year and a tiny bit, but like I don't think it's been out that long. Yeah, because I think it came out like last year, didn't it?
P3 Reload came out in 2024. Yeah, fair enough. I thought it was longer than that.
No.
What year?
So
What point in 2024? Though? February 2024. So just over a year. Year and 2 months at this point of time recording. Yeah, fair. It felt like a lot longer for some reason.
I mean, P3 Reload looks beautiful. So like, if it looks even as good, I'd be satisfied. Mainly because we've also never ever seen P4 look anything like that because it was originally PS2 and then on PS Vita and
Yeah.
just stayed
So
like that graphically.
it just stayed the
So
same. Yeah, it
yeah.
would. Yeah.
So if we even see like fresh models and stuff, like I think I'd just be like, whoa.
That would be
bro.
that would be nice. Yeah, as Persona fans would be eating good with that. You're so true, so true. Right, but let's wrap this up here. Let's call it a day on this game chat. What are you guys looking forward to in terms of games coming out, or what are you playing right now? Let us know in the comments. Love to hear from you. And as always, remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell button for future Culture Boys videos. Check the links in our description. We have our podcast platforms there, and we will see you guys next time for another Culture Boys episode. Bye bye.
Bye.